Do you like getting a head start on your holiday projects or just have some 12 by 12 pattern paper you want to use? Today I have a template that will show you how to cut one piece of 12 by 12 paper to make 4 A2 size cards with no scraps. Hi, I'm Jess from jesscrafts.com and I'm here to help you make the most of your crafty supplies and time. So let's get making. As mentioned, 12 by 12 paper busting template for A2 cards number 31 shows you how to cut one piece of 12 by 12 paper so that there are no pattern paper scraps, and then use that to make an A2 size card, actually in this case 4 A2 sized cards. So I have the Vicki Boutin Peppermint Kisses Floral Sprig, piece of patterned paper. And we're going to start by cutting off the branding strip to make it a true 12 by 12 patterned paper. Now, this patterned paper that I have today, I don't think is directional. Like, I don't think it has a clear top and bottom. The same on the back side, it's just the stripes there. But this template does work with directional patterned paper, so if that is what you have, no worries there. I'm going to make sure that my first cut is along here. Basically, you want to look for a cut where you can go all the way across the paper continuously. So I can't make this cut here because it doesn't line up all the way across the paper. So we're going to start by cutting off a 3.5 inch piece. Now you can measure to 3.5 inches, or you can take your 12-inch mark and take 3.5 inches away from it, whichever is easier for you. So I'm coming to the 3.5 inch mark, and then we're going to cut this piece into 3-inch chunks. So here I'm going to measure from the other side. So I start with 12, go down to 9, 6, and then 3, and I have these 4 pieces of paper for my cards. I'm actually going to use the opposite side, so because it's double-sided, I can mix up the pattern. If you only have single-sided patterned paper, that will also work, but you may want to take 2 pieces of the patterned paper and mix it up. So I'm going to cut to 4.25, and then I'm going to make 2 5.5 inch pieces. Now, actually, I'm going to make these small pieces first. So I'm going to make 5.5 inch pieces, but then I have these 2 1/2 inch strips. It's going to be important that I cut those first because they're a little bit trickier to cut. If I were to wait and cut them off another piece, that might be like, I don't want to have to try to cut a 1 inch piece into 2 1/2 inch pieces. I find that to be a little bit more challenging. So I'm going to cut those 2 first, and then I'm going to cut this to 5.5. Although this would be the way I would probably, like if I cut 5.5 inches off of here, then I'm left with 6.5. I can come to 6, and then 5.5. But I'm always trying to cut those little strips off of a larger piece of paper, so hopefully that makes sense. In this case, I am going to use my large piece of paper as my background. Sorry, I'm going to use my larger pattern as my background piece of paper. So one of the cuts completely covers your card base, although I guess my card base is slightly larger than 4.25 by 5.5 here. And then I have this strip. I'm looking at the sketch here, and I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to use this stripe, more simple side, for my basic card layout. You can, of course, switch it up to suit your needs if you think this works better. Or, you know, just kind of experiment with your particular patterned paper, because at this point you can flip things around and then make your final decision. I like this one, this arrangement here, because I think you could actually get away with not having any card mats because this darker pattern really pops off of the lighter background color. We're going to need to cut some cardstock mats. We first need a mat for our strip, and because it's going to run the whole length of the card, it is going to be 4.25 inches, but which is the same size as the paper, but it's going to be a 1/4 inch wider. So I cut it to 3/4 of an inch, and then we're going to need a 1/4 inch bigger of the 3 by 3.5. So that will be 3 1/4 by 3 3/4. You don't have to worry about those measurements because they are in the downloadable template. You can get this template downloaded, the first link in the video description below. If you are liking this kind of video, like you're liking seeing how to use your pattern paper without scraps, or you like getting a jump start on your holiday cards, you might enjoy my class at the upcoming Cardmaker Success Summit. I'm going to be doing a class where I show you how to use 6 by 6 patterned paper to make cards without scraps, and the whole summit, which includes many other fabulous teachers, is going to focus on getting those holiday cards done early. So the summit is on August 8th, and there will be a link in the video description. You can attend for free. You will get my exclusive paper busting template for the event free, you know, when you watch my presentation. It is an affiliate link though, because you can upgrade and you can get some bonuses and that kind of thing. But I do want to share that with you because I know some people really like to collect all the templates. So if you want to sign up for that free class, that is the way to get that particular template. So I don't want to glue that down just yet because I wanted to use these embellishments. These are tags that I sell in my Etsy shop. This is a Christmas set of tags. There's 4 different ones, but I'm using these cups today, and you can get them as like a big PDF or as JPEG so that you can resize them and use whatever, you know, specifically fits your card, treat tag, etc. And I want to make sure that I can cut a mat for these tags from this same mat that I already cut, just to get an efficient use of cardstock, since I need, you know, 1 scalloped circle for each card, and this is going to cover that area. That's going to help me out there. So these tags are actually, if you go ahead and upgrade to the VIP bundle, which gives you the instant and ongoing access, there are a lot of additional resources that you get from the speakers, and mine is a bundle of these tags. So there's going to be holiday and seasonal tags that you will be able to download as my, you know, additional item. So now we have all our components to assemble one of the cards, and we'll follow the same procedure to assemble all 4 cards. And I'm going to find that, like, I'll need to trim up this a little bit because it's kind of overhanging. You know, I always try to have exact measurements, and yet sometimes, you know, when I measure 4 1/4, it's not exactly the same each time. And I do like to acknowledge that because I think some people get a little bit discouraged by that kind of thing, but it is pretty normal in my experience. I think this would be great to pop up here. I could use some foam tape, I could use some scraps. This is actually a scrap piece, so I could double this up real quick and pop that under there so I don't have to reach into my foam tape. What's kind of nice about these tags is once you print them, they do have like kind of a focal point embellishment and sentiment all in one go, so you don't need to add that if that is not the kind of thing you like to do, if you're not someone who likes to stamp and color a lot of images, for instance. I was able to keep going until I had all 4 cards. If you would like to see more of this kind of card making, again, be sure to check the video description for that Cardmaker Success Summit. I think that you will have a good time learning lots of new techniques at this free summit. If you found this video helpful, here's another video where you can find more ideas for enjoying your crafty time and supplies. Let me know you like this video with a share to your crafty community. Subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss the next template or tutorial, and check the video description for product links. See you in the next video.